So Sony announced that the PS5 might be ending soon, and I'm going to break down why that is not true and give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So we're going to get into the argument, not the argument, the announcement here that they made. So Sony announced its third quarter earnings on February 14th, and they weren't exactly full of glad tidings for PlayStation fans. For starters, the company revealed it doesn't plan to release any new titles in its major franchises for the remainder of 2024. All right, so that's normal. It's just the remainder of 2024. This happens sometimes. Your studios release all their games, and then there might be a period where that year they don't have anything slated to release. That's normal. It does not mean that it is the end of the PlayStation 5. Sony execs also said that its current gen hardware, the PS5, is nearing the end of its life cycle. So we'll get to that in a minute. According to Bloomberg's coverage of the call, the company predicts PS5 sales will slow in the next fiscal year. That means from April 2024 until March 2025. All right, so guys, they have no games coming out in 2024. This is probably part of the reason why they think that the sales will slow down. Also, a lot of people already have PS5s if they wanted them. That's also a reason why it might be slowing down. Like I said earlier, what goes up must come down. They're probably at the point right now where it will be coming back down, along with not having games. So looking ahead, PS5 will enter the latter stage of its life cycle, Sony SVP Naomi Matsuoka said, or Matsuoka. As such, we will put more emphasis on the balance between profitability and sales. For this reason, we expect the annual sales pace of PS5 hardware will start falling from the next fiscal year. So she says it's the latter stage of its life cycle. Guys, latter stage means near the end, more closer to the end than the beginning. So right now, the PS5 has been out for 3 years and 3 months. If the new console releases in 6 years after the release of the PS5, we're technically in the latter stage of the PS5, even though the next PlayStation won't release for almost another 3 years. Because technically, we are still closer to that 6 year mark than the launch of the PS5, but that's still almost 3 years away. So, yeah, you have to look at the wordage here, the latter stage of its life. It doesn't mean the PS5 is done after 2024, it could be years from now, which means it's not going anywhere. All right, so we continue on. The PlayStation 5 launched in November 2020, but was unusually difficult to obtain for nearly 2 years after launch, owing to global supply chain shortages. There's also more reasons to it. I worked at Target during the launch of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. We had we got a shipment of PS5s, like 25 of them, and we were not allowed to sell them to customers who came in. If they came in and asked, "Do you have any PS5s in stock?" we had to say no because we could only sell them online for some reason. But if we sold them online, you know what would happen. The scalpers would get them. So it was very silly that we couldn't sell them in person for whatever reason. I don't know, because COVID, but the customers were in the store anyway. It was dumb. So there's many reasons why you couldn't get a PS5. So during this time, on the rare occasions that PS5s were available from online retailers like Amazon or Best Buy, they would be quickly scooped up by resellers and sold on the secondary market at a hefty markup. The consoles became far easier for most folks to get a hold of in 2023, though, with PlayStation President Jim Ryan announcing at CES that everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally. Starting from this point forward, on the earnings call, Sony execs confirmed that 54.7 million PS5s have sold since launch. That's a lot, but it's still considerably outpaced by the 139 million Switches sold by Nintendo since 2017. So the Nintendo's been out for 3.5 years longer than the PS5 because the Switch came out March 2017. I think it was March, but I know it was 2017 and I'm pretty sure March. That's 3.5 years. If you gave the PS5 another 3.5 years, I don't think it would hit the mark of 139 million because it's already been out almost 3.5 years and it's not even half that right now. So again, Switch, they make games and the games are all that matters. Typically, consoles have a shelf life of roughly 7 years. though the continued popularity of the Nintendo Switch has proven that convention isn't exactly ironclad. So the fact that Sony's thinking about next gen already wouldn't be surprising in normal circumstances. But it's fair to say the last few years have been anything but normal circumstances, with PS5 consoles only becoming widely available at MSRP in the last year or so. It kind of feels like the current generation of games only just got started in earnest in 2023. Combined with the lack of first party tentpole releases in the coming year, this is pretty discouraging. All right, so yeah, combined with the lack of first party tentpole releases in the coming year, this is pretty discouraging. I mean, with PS5 you do get games. It's just this year they aren't getting any. Welcome. This is the life of an Xbox fan. Um, and it does feel like it just got started because again, a lot of people were not able to get PS5s. So for the reason of this video, oh wait, there's one more thing. So Sony's latest announcement comes at a particularly charged moment in gaming. So then it just talks about the layoffs. Yeah, so large rate of layoffs. There's a rumor Xbox porting games, and also the Nintendo Switch. There's rumors there might be a Switch 2 coming soon. So yeah, we already heard about the Xbox. I made a video on that. You can check it out about them porting games. There's rumors the Switch 2 might be revealed later this year. And then the PS5, there's nothing going on with PlayStation right now. It's just no games, or they're going to focus on sales and profitability. And yeah, but here's the thing. The PS5 is not going anywhere because even if there is a new console, they will not name it the PS6 for many, many reasons. For one, if it's the PS6, they have to make a new controller, a whole new console. Now the developers have to develop a PS4, a PS5, and a PS6. Or they could drop the PS4, which they most likely won't because it still has a lot of players on it, and just develop for the PS5 and the PS6. But the thing is, there aren't a lot of people who own a PS5. So a PS6 cannot happen. They're just oversaturating the market now with PlayStations of different generations. They can't do that. Yeah, it's been 3 years and 3 months, but still, it's still too early. Like I said, consoles normally come, like they said, at the 5 year or 7 year mark. The Xbox came in 2001, but then the 360 came in 2005. That's 4 years. The PS2 was 2000. The PS3 was 2006. That's 6 years. The 360 to the Xbox One was 8 years, while the PS3 to PS4 was 7 years. I mean, I think the good mark for this would be 6 years, 2020 to 2026. Maybe 5 years, 2020 to 2025. I'd say that's good enough. 2020 to 2025, 5 years. It used to really be 5 years. It was like 1990 to 1995, 1995 to 2000, 2000, 2005. They were going to release consoles in 2010, 2005 to 2010, but then motion control got big and they focused on the Switch, or not the Switch, they focused on the Kinect and the PlayStation Move. And that's why 2013 was when the consoles released. And then 2013. And then within 5 years of then, you had the PS Pro and the PS4 Pro and the Xbox X within 5 years of those consoles releasing. So what I think will happen is the PlayStation 5 might release a PlayStation 5 Pro by the end of the year. That's what I believe. If they don't, I wouldn't be too surprised either. They would still be fine. But if anything, guys, it'll be a PlayStation 5. And it doesn't matter because the PlayStation is still beating the Xbox 2-1. Xbox will never take over Sony unless they follow the plan that I made in my 2 videos ago. So you can go check that out. All right, so yeah, so thanks for watching.